Hello and welcome to Needing a Meeting. My name is Carol and I am your host today. How's everybody doing? Well, Heather's weeding. Happy weeding to you. I've been doing a bit of that myself with the weed eater and picking up rocks and whatnot and sleeping on the couch. Just woke up from a nap. Yeah. So, how's everybody doing? Happy Sunday, Sandy. Hey. Henny. Let's see. Anybody wants to have a meeting? Hi, Matrix Rabbit. Good to see you. Yeah, it was pretty good, Jen. I gotta say. I don't know who's going to be here today. No idea. Yeah, so do you mind us calling you Todd, Matrix Rabbit? Yeah. All right. Well, I could do a cult classic. I haven't even looked up anything. Oh, y'all are going to make me do this meeting by myself, are you? Hey, Rip Curl Readiness. Good to see you. I'm okay. How's everyone else? Well, shoot, y'all. Oh. All right. Well, I don't know. What's somebody want to talk about today? I'm visiting my in-laws. Can't stay, but hello, glad you did. Hey, Jen.
Hi. I don't want to leave you by yourself, so.
Thank you.
I can hold off on the talking.
I can't hear you very well.
It's because I didn't remember to grab my microphone. Very professional today. I just came in from my mom's. I stopped and grabbed some food on the way home. Sat down at my desk to get ready to edit my my field trip videos from yesterday. I did a bunch of did a little adventure for my channel, and I'm gonna edit these videos together. Anyways,
that's a word.
Yeah, sure. It's a word. It's how somebody pronounces things somewhere, right?
Right. That's right.
But yeah, so I was my mom had asked me if I could come out and help vacuum and do some dusting, and I'm like, of course, because I've been waiting for her to ask me for help.
Right on. For real, or are you being facetious?
No, for real.
Okay.
Yeah,
How's she doing?
She's not great. But she is cleared for surgery. It's just a matter of figuring out whether or not if they're gonna do a full hysterectomy, or if they're gonna just do the biopsy, which I think is stupid. I think you can do a hysterectomy laparoscopically, right?
Yeah. Right.
And I just feel like if you take the whole uterus out, it's better to biopsy that. Hey, 100.
Yeah, you would think.
Hi.
Yes, baby. Hurry.
Jason is here. He's
okay.
He's on the porch.
Let him know. Let him know I'm back here doing.
I'll let him know you're on the back.
Marriage.
That brings us together. So the internet is not strong enough down here for me to use the laptop. So I'll end up using my phone. And when I'm looking down, I got a laptop today, guys. Yay!
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 So there's actually a really big sale, and I'm like, okay, I'll take advantage of that. Thank you.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a shame that you can't use it down there, though.
Yeah, I could ask to use one of the offices upstairs, but the chances of them needing it for for like an in-house meeting, I just don't want to get interrupted.
Yeah.
So
It's good
so
to
be
see
it.
you. It's good to see you sideways instead
Yeah.
of vertical. I like this.
Because then now I
Yeah.
can look at the chat on the computer, and
That's right.
Okay. Yeah.
that way I
Okay.
can still see what's going on.
All
How
right,
are
I'm
you
still-
guys doing?
Good. I'm still here, but I'm gonna go off video so we can talk and I can finish my tacos.
Haha, there you go. There you go.
Thank
Well,
you
in
for
the disco room, because I am in the disco room, of course.
Well, when you get
Oh,
through
and I
eating,
did-
come on back.
Yes, and I did get a mic because I was originally hoping to be able to use the laptop to do the
Yeah.
stream, but because I'm down here, it's a little bit harder with the internet.
Mhm.
But I have a
Yeah.
mic for when I do get my own place then, and it's like the whole setup's done now.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's
So that
amazing.
felt good. That felt really good.
Right
Thank
on. Hey,
Thank
Zelda.
you, income taxes.
You're just making stride after stride after stride. I'm
Oh, I'm
proud.
trying. Thank you. Thank you. And hello, everybody. Holy cow. We got people.
Before I had a marriage interruption, Jen, did you get
Yeah.
out everything that you were saying? I'm sorry for the interruption.
No, it's no big deal at all. Yeah, I want to know what these surgeons are planning to do.
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel like you can only get a true biopsy result on something like a uterus if you take it out, because there could always be a little piece that you clip that's benign, but it's actually a malignancy, and so that's
Do you have any input there? Can you be there as part of the consultation, or?
Maybe it's kind of up to her, and
Okay.
a little bit stubborn.
Ah.
I mean, we all are, just like, and I was asking her questions today, and she's like, "Okay, I'm sick of talking about this." I'm like, "That's great, but I've been waiting for a week to ask you these questions, so you're gonna just go ahead and deal with answering them, and when I'm done, we won't talk about it anymore, right?"
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird when you get to that transitional period in your life with one or both of your parents,
Changes forever.
where it starts to change,
Mm-hmm.
but they're fighting it so hard. Like my
Yeah.
mom was like, "Don't tell your sister that you were here," and I'm like, "Why?" Hey,
Hi.
what did you do to you? You look hot.
I got a new shirt.
I
got
like
my outside, and
Great.
Oh.
I actually did something with my hair and my face.
I love your hair. Thank Give
Now,
it
is
a-
it just up in the back, or is
Oh,
it okay?
okay.
We thought
No,
not
okay.
cut. Okay.
No,
Okay.
I'm growing it out long, so I don't want to cut it. As much as I want to cut it, sometimes
Mhm.
I'm just gonna pull it back because I'm going for the long, flowy lock.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
You
This
know, I
hair is
have
so
long
freaking
hair.
long.
You know, I had really long hair for most of my life. And then just a couple years ago, like this whole side was shaved and this
Mhm.
side was long and it had like a design in it and everything. And I just went short. Well, except for the time that I shaved my head. I had my head shaved for 2 years.
The
But
whole head.
The
the
fully.
whole head. It was Buzz. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sinead
Michael,
O'Connor.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yes. So what it was all about, my hair was down to my waist. And Michael said to me, he goes, you're too vain to shave your head. And I was like, no, I'm not. But you're gonna do it. So we put it back in a ponytail, and he went right down the middle. Well, first he felt my head to make sure it wasn't lumpy, and then he goes, "All right," and he goes, "I'm gonna start right here." And I closed my eyes. That way, when I opened my eyes, I was gonna have no hair, and it was the most freeing experience of my life. And I kept it that way for 2 years.
Interesting.
That's how I got into
Wow.
wigs.
Okay.
I had just gotten hired at a really uppity place in downtown Fort Collins to be the marketing manager, marketing, director. And I thought, I'm going to go in with a buzzed head and they're not going to know what to do. I'm like, I either just lost my job or they're like,
Oh
hey.
man.
And they really were like, hey.
Hey.
So
Wow.
I was very lucky.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But
Wow.
and then I kept it buzzed for 2 years. It was fun, and I wore wigs. And then when I grew it out, because when you have your hair shaved for that long, and it grows back, it will start forming cowlicks where there were none before. So I had hair that stuck up here, it stuck out here, it was over here. And it would get to a certain length and it would drive me crazy, and I'd want to shave it again. And that's when I would put the wigs on, and I would just wear the wigs, and it was fun. And and then I really liked wigs. So
I just did like the
Wow, that's so cool.
yeah, it was awesome. And so and now I've decided, I'm like, all right, well, it's time to grow it back out now. Probably won't be shaving it anymore or anything like that, but it was fun
For
when
now.
I did it. So.
for now.
It almost looks like a short haircut.
It's because it's so long, I can't really do anything with it. But this is kind of how it was before, only this was
Okay.
shaved, and this was it was about that long. So for me to grow it out from there to where it's at now, it kind of, my hair grows pretty fast and it's really thick, so it gets really heavy. So I have to go in and have it thinned out. Kind of looks like a little chihuahua when my stylist gets done. But now that I'm on the road, I have to find a new stylist because my stylist is in Kentucky, and I miss her already.
How long are you guys? Aw, how long are you guys going to be in Baltimore?
Probably another 2 months.
Okay.
2 months. Okay. So I don't have to fly to Alberta for another 2 months.
Right.
Okay.
I'll let you know. I'll let everybody know, because we are gonna cross at every time we've driven the Alaska Highway, and we've always crossed over at Sweetgrass, Montana. And the reason is because my mom lives in Colorado, so it goes Colorado, Wyoming, Montana. So we can just drive straight up that way. And then I don't know, it's not the prettiest drive across Alberta. I'm sure there are parts of Alberta that are pretty. Just the parts we drive through are just kind of like,
It's kind of like the Nebraska of Canada.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, I call that Saskatchewan.
Yeah, you're right.
It was,
Maybe a little more like Iowa then.
There you go. There you go.
Boring.
like a little
There's,
sense there. It was when we got into BC, it was beautiful though, because when we went, it was in the springtime, so there were like porcupines and their little babies, and then the bison and the rams and the everything, the bears. And then we got into the Yukon, and then there were grizzlies, and there was a grizzly that walked right next to our truck. We had a white F350, so it was a 3/4 ton truck, and it was like 20 feet long. But the bear was walking next to us, and I was like, you know me, I'm not the brightest tool in the shed always. So I'm like hanging out the window with my phone, and I'm like recording the bear, and Michael's like, the grizzly's gonna eat you. And I'm like, no, he's not, because he's not looking at me. He's watching where he's going. He's just plodding along, and he's like, Christy, those things are fast. And I was like, it's fine, don't worry about it. Yeah. And then everybody's like, oh my God, you were hanging out of the truck. And I wasn't hanging out of the truck. I mean, my arm was out of the truck. So at best, he would have gotten my arm and not even my good arm. So I still would have had my good arm. I just would have not had my left arm. Right. So, I mean, at least I was smart enough. Like, if you're going to take my arm, take the one I don't use.
For future reference, babies can hurt you, so please don't do that again.
And then we go walking. Here's the other thing. Well, this was really scary. So I didn't understand bears. Like, I knew they were big and I knew they were mean and that you didn't mess with them, but it didn't really, like, it didn't dawn on me. Now you get around and act like somebody. Go on. That they were predators, right? And so that means that they hunt. Well, so we went into the woods and we had Snickers, and we were always taught to be quiet in the woods so that you could see all of the animals, so that you didn't like scare off the deer and the birds. Well, we had never lived anywhere where you were supposed to be loud so that the bears didn't get you. And all these people were like stomping and clapping and hollering, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And we got back to the hotel and they're like, oh gosh, please tell me you didn't go into there without like a pew 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 or a stick or something. And I'm like, why do I need a pew 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 to go into the woods? And they're like, okay. So apparently 2 days before, when we got there, a grizzly like yanked a child out of the group of people that was left, and all that was left was the shoe.
Oh
And
no.
yes, and apparently that happens a lot, which is why you're supposed to make a whole bunch of noise. And then also, bears can swim faster than you can paddle or row or go in a boat. So they're like, if you're trying to get away from a bear, don't go into the water. And you're certainly not going to outswim him or out paddle him or anything like that. And I was like, okay, this is awesome. So then after that,
God.
I was very aware and like made noise everywhere I went. And people were like, you don't have to do it in town. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that bear does not know where the city limit starts. So, like, but
Oh man.
yeah. So, hey, you two, now you get around and act like somebody. This is not a free for all.
Don't go up
Tell
at
them,
Busy E says
WTF.
don't go up a tree either.
No, they
Yeah,
can fly.
They can climb
they can
trees.
climb. Yeah, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Just play dead, Or like somebody will be like, make yourself taller than the bear. Right. Because like I come up to the bear's kneecap, that's gonna. I'll have to stand on a rock, and then I'll be like, "Rawr." That's not scary, y'all. There ain't nobody running away from
They can peel a door off the car. They can rip out a wall of a cottage to get to food.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's what
Unbelievable.
they told us too, was they're like, so in Alaska, they don't have snakes or lizards or, anything like that. It's too cold. But they're like, everything that we do have is bigger than you. So they've got like black bears and grizzly bears and moose. And then they've got, of course, got eagles, and which, again, that's all predators,
Yeah.
I mean, they tell people to be careful walking their little dogs so that the eagles don't grab their little dogs.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh.
oh wow, okay. Fortunately I had a big dog, but yeah, it took a lot of getting used to. And a moose everywhere. You would just see, you had to be careful. And the moose are so big and their legs are spindly. If they get hit with a car, like it's not like hitting a deer because you hit their leg. So you don't actually hit them. So you essentially break their leg.
Mm-hmm. And they'll
Yeah.
fly up on the top of the car, that momentum as well, the physics of it. They'll land on the top. So
Yeah. And then you
Yeah.
have to call the game wardens, and then they have to come take care of the animal because you can't,
no.
it has to be put down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I bet they hate doing that too.
But I love it. As long as you pay attention, like Alaska is beautiful and I can't wait to go back through it. And I can't wait to go through BC and Yukon is even really beautiful in its own way. Like I said, Alberta, I'm just kind of like, Alberta.
So maybe I'll meet you in BC then, because I haven't
There you
actually
go.
been to BC. So that's something that I've wanted to do, and it would be an excuse for me to go to BC then.
Hey, there you go. There you
BC is
go.
beautiful.
Like, I'll tell Michael, I'll be like, look, we got to stop. We got to see Stasia. I'll be like, okay.
So
Okay.
how far is Alberta from where you are right now, Stasia?
Driving or plane?
Oh, I don't know.
Plane would be about 5 hours. Driving would be something about a day and a half.
Yeah.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm on the other side of Ontario right now. If I was in Ontario, it takes 24 hours to get from mid-Ontario to Winnipeg, Manitoba. And then from there, you still have to go through Saskatchewan to get to Alberta.
Basically consider, okay, so she's going from Ontario to BC. Consider it driving from Ohio to California.
There you go.
That's the distance.
Okay.
Because it's the same as us. It's just higher
Right.
up.
I'm
Okay.
so happy that we have Jen as the translator because I know nothing about the States.
Well, I straddle the international border here. So
Uh-huh.
I grew up with this knowledge of Canada that most people in the States don't, unless you're a border state.
Yeah.
I mean, I
And I was a really nerdy kid.
I thought Whitehorse was kind of cool in the Yukon, and Watson Lake was kind of cool.
Oh.
Other than that, it really kind of freaked me out when I got to Alaska. I didn't know that you had to pull the curtains, especially in the summertime, because the sun doesn't sit, it doesn't go down. So
Yep.
it'll be like what it looks like in the summertime at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon is what it looks like at about 2 in the morning. So the sun never actually goes down. So they have blackout
Isn't that only for like 45 minutes a day too for a little bit?
What,
or is
the
that
sun
higher?
goes down?
Yeah, because it like goes to like a mid dusk, right? But then it only
Yes.
lasts a certain amount of time, I think.
Yeah, and depending on where you're at, it might not even do that. Like the higher, the closer you are to the Arctic Circle, the least that happens.
Wow.
But yeah, even at that, it doesn't even get dark enough for you to go, oh, hey, it's getting dark. So I love the sunlight. And when I first got there, I never closed the curtains. So my body never shut down. So I never got tired. So I was up for like a week straight. And finally the hotel I was staying at, the manager pulled me aside and she's like, she goes, you know you're supposed to close your curtains at like 8, 9 o'clock at night, right? And I said, no, why? And she goes, well, because your body doesn't know to shut down. Because it doesn't get dark, its natural clock gets thrown off. And she's like, so you won't start getting tired. She's like, you have to shut your curtains between 8 and 9.
I wonder how she knew that you had not been sleeping.
Because I was walking around, I was like this. I was just so tired, And you two straighten up. Now, that's about enough. I will put you in your room. I hate
You go to your room, you bad kids.
I know. I hate to call them crates because it makes me feel bad if I'm like, get in your crate, I mean, so I call them rooms and then I don't feel as bad. But no, yeah, she did. And they would kind of patrol because there's a refinery up there. It's Marathon Refinery. So they had oil, some of the workers were staying there. So they would kind of walk around and just make sure that everything was on the up and up. Yeah. And then I started doing that and then I started sleeping. But I had no idea that I even needed to do that.
Yeah. That would be confusing. That would be rather confusing. It's not something that I would probably know either.
No, and and then when you go outside and it looks like it's 2 in the afternoon, you think everything should be open, and it's really 2 in the morning. So you really have to, like, at a certain point, you've got to start looking at your watch or your phone or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I wonder, do they have like a period of darkness that's like that too, on the opposite side of the?
So in
Season.
the
Yeah, and
winter,
that's the weird part is when it's
Yeah.
dark.
in the winter time, the sun doesn't really come up. So when Michael was up there in the winter time, the sun didn't ever really come up. It would get, it's called like civil twilight or something like that. It's very dusky. So and you would lose so much light every day. So it didn't when he first went up there for the job, it didn't get light until like 10 in the morning.
Uh-oh. Daddy's home.
Yeah.
Hi, Michael.
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
Michael.
Hold on. Oh. Hey, everybody's saying hi to you.
Hello.
Yeah, they get pretty excited.
He's got a whole welcome crew now when he comes back. It's not just you and the dogs. He's got just like a group of people on the computer going, "Hi,
He's like he's a star.
Michael."
It's a bunch of people. We were talking about Alaska. Yeah.
And how you're supposed to stop and see me. I might just meet you in BC.
Oh yes. And so Stasia lives in Quebec, and so she's gonna go to BC. So we'll stop and see her.
He's just walking in the door. It's okay.
You'll have to deal with those two as well.
Oh, that's fine. I'll be on the ground with them. I'll be like, "So hi, love you, but I'm here to see the dogs."
Shitty kitty, you guys are good.
I'm feeling really left out here. Why is there no plan to visit me in Detroit?
Well, we're gonna have to.
Or if you're gonna go up to Canada through New York, I can just go through the tunnel and like meet you guys in Ontario, or somewhere in Ontario.
There you go. Hey,
Yeah.
when it gets closer, we'll figure it out. I'll tell everybody where I'm gonna be, and I'll be like, "Come say hi."
Sweet. I need excuses to travel.
Yeah.
I'm desperate for travel.
Sorry, I had to
Hey,
call
buddy.
him down.
Hi.
Hi.
The gang's all here.
Now I understand the chimney sweeper thing completely. He does kind of look like a chimney sweeper. Now I can see him a little bit bigger now.
And then I get that song stuck in my head. I'm like, Jiminy.
Oh yeah.
Can't hear. What are you saying? Can't hear.
Can you?
You can't hear him.
Get a little closer to the mic. Michael?
You have to lean in.
I said this is North Slope gear.
Ah.
So they wear this. They wear this the Carhartt, the dark blue coveralls and dark blue shirt, just like everybody looks like me up at the North Slope of Alaska.
Right
up in the
on.
Arctic Circle, yeah. And I worked up there the first time about
Oh, it was
10 years ago. Yeah, about 10 years ago, and I've been dressing like this ever since. So
That's
Right
fantastic.
on. Right
And
on.
maybe I
hat.
could just follow you guys up there and stay if there's more guys. There probably is guys.
it works out because this gets dirty and my underclothes stay clean. So when I
That is
come
nice.
home, I'm only dirty from here.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
When he's at the slope, I'm not allowed to go because it's what's called a man camp. So unless you're working up there, you're not allowed to be there. Yeah.
I'll work up there.
Y'all, when he first went to Alaska, this is what he did. We had just been married, like not even 3 months, not even 2 months, I don't think. And he comes home. No, he calls me and he goes, "I'm going to Alaska." And I'm like, "You what?" He goes, "I'm going to Alaska to work." And I'm like, "When?" He's like, "In like 3 weeks." And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "They asked if anybody wanted to go, and I volunteered." And I'm like, "Don't you think maybe you should talk about this with me?" And he's like, "It's more money, no." And I was like,
Perfect.
"Okay." And he's
I like the response.
yeah, and he goes, "You can't go anyway." Like, okay, I guess.
That
I
sounds-
stayed.
that
Yeah,
sounds like
there's
the
nothing
perfect
bad about
marriage.
that.
to me.
I just work and send you more money.
I was gonna say this sounds like a really great marriage. I'd be like, okay, bye. See you in however many months. Have fun.
Yeah.
Love you. Yeah, I love it. I think that's great.
To travel with him all over now. Like I said, when he goes to the man camp, I don't. But he sent me pictures. It was like 50 below zero, and yeah, I
Ew.
don't. But he's seen the aurora borealis, like the northern lights, a ton of times.
Ooh.
Um,
I've never seen that. That's one of my bucket list things.
I want to
Same.
see it too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I live in a state where you can see it, but you have to go up north, and I just haven't had time to go upstate to
No,
to catch
I
it,
want
unfortunately.
I want to see it so bad. So
Yeah.
I have to run down and switch over laundry. So I'm
Okay.
gonna turn unless you guys want to talk to Michael for 15 minutes.
I'm sure he wants a shower too.
I was gonna say I don't think he really wants to sit down and talk to us afterward.
Do you want to say hi to yourself for
I love it.
I'm gonna finish this. Hang on.
Yeah.
yourself for about 15 minutes?
All right.
I'll let Michael take over. Good luck. Be nice.
Now we have a Michael.
So yes, welcome to Tanky 101.
This is fantastic.
Yes.
Tell us a story, Michael.
Yeah, so today we got to put, we are building two 100-foot diameter tanks at the airport, the BWI airport here in Baltimore. And
Oh.
we just put the roof on the first one. And then so tomorrow will be, once that's welded out, we'll start on the next tank, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump over from where we are right now. So about 2 months. About 2 months per tank from
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
And these are like huge tanks.
No, those are tiny tanks. I'm used to working on 200-foot plus diameter tanks. Yeah,
Dang.
they look
They're baby
big.
tanks.
Yeah, they look. I don't know if Chrissy's showing you any photos of what I do.
No, actually, she hasn't.
No?
I've seen a few.
We'll
And then
get onto it.
Sunny
We'll have to
camera
get
one.
onto it for that.
Yeah.
Are these oil tanks you were talking about?
Matter of fact, hold on. I bet we can work this. Hold on. I got a couple
Yeah, man.
pictures. I got a couple pictures I took today.
Your new nickname is the
this
Renaissance
is-
Man.
So this is the center column. We call it the dollar plate. That's on the center column that holds the roof up. The guy I was setting the roof with, his name's John. He's the one that's on this center column here. Let me see here.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
huge. What do you mean that's small? That's
That's
No,
a baby
huge.
tank for him apparently.
No, that's a small tank.
My goodness.
So are they both going to be both tanks that you're doing? Are they going to be at the airport? Both of them, or?
Oh yeah. And it's funny.
Okay.
It's funny because you go into this tank farm that's at the airport, and there's a sign that says, "You are entering the most dangerous place on the planet." That's what it says.
Oh
What?
my goodness.
Yeah.
What
and
do
I'm
they
just
mean
thinking,
by dangerous?
Really?
it's I don't know. I just think it's
What
funny.
do
that
you
they put
do? You
that
know what they
sign in
mean
there.
by that, though? I mean, what do they mean by dangerous?
because
Is
of the
in
fuel.
crime? Is in?
No, it's because of the
Oh.
fuel. Yeah,
Okay.
the
Okay.
fuel.
So they're fuel tanks that you're building.
Oh, here's one I took.
Barbara, you're hilarious.
There you go. So that's John. This is before we started. We were setting the beam before we set the roof, and that's hold on. There you go.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That's him out there on that dollar pole, and then I was on the
Oh, wow.
opposite end, welding them on the outside of the tank, and he welds them up on the dollar pole, and we just keep working around until they're all in.
Kim wants to know what kind of welding you do.
Every kind that there is.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
Jen would like
Yeah.
to know if you do welding lessons because I want to learn for my art.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, actually, anybody, if so, you could literally go to anybody that wants to start learning the weld. They can literally just go to a rental place, the equipment rental places, rent you a
Okay.
welder, rent you a welder for a weekend, and they're not that expensive. Rent you a diesel welder for the weekend, get you some scrap plate, or even go to one of those small places that sells plate and rebar and stuff. They sell little stuff at like Home Depot and Lowe's. I guess if you wanted to learn on that kind of stuff, you could buy that stuff too. But get your setup, get you a cheap little hood. You could probably get a hood for like $20 and spend a weekend and just practice on your own. You know, these days they have these videos on YouTube. I tell people all the time, if you want to know how to do anything, just watch YouTube.
True. True.
I
So,
You
mean,
can
it's
learn
true.
just
You
about
can
anything.
build a house on
Mhm.
well, it works for me too. I've been welding for over almost 3 decades. And so when it came to my pipe welding, I've been welding pipe for a while. I used to weld boiler tubes on ships. And I wanted to hone in on my 6010 route on piping. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. I'm going to put a thing in on YouTube and see what pops up. And you would not believe how many videos popped up on how to do a proper 6010 route on pipe. And so I just watched it a few times and then went to work the next day and took my pipe test and did the little things that the guy was doing in the video and passed it first time go. And I was like, oh, okay, there you go.
Wow. Well, cool.
Wow, I'm glad Christy went to go do laundry because this has been very.
Yeah.
Christy, Michael's a natural, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He's doing
is.
great.
Yeah.
He's a natural what?
On the
Popper?
camera.
He's a natural what?
Yeah.
He's
A natural
natural.
YouTuber.
He's a natural disaster. Is that what you want me to say? He's a natural
He could be that.
YouTuber. I'm a natural disaster. No, that's mine. Can't
Well,
have
I
that.
used to be an instructor in the military. So I used to teach nuclear, chemical, biological warfare. I also taught hand-to-hand combat
Oh.
to tankers in Germany. Yeah. So I'm used to being in front of large crowds of people. One time they put me in front of over 30,000 people at the Hampton Coliseum in Hampton, Virginia, to do some
I know that place.
classes. Yeah, I was teaching both
Okay.
the USS Nimitz. So we had over 6,000 people on board the USS Nimitz aircraft
As in the
carrier.
carrier,
you know,
the
Yeah, yeah.
USS
Yeah.
Nimitz. You know,
Yeah. So they
I have
brought
a friend who was
they
in the
brought the
Navy.
carrier.
on
Yeah,
that.
they brought the carrier group in, and they wanted a venue that was big enough for everyone. So they actually rented out the Hampton Coliseum. Yeah, and
Wow.
yeah, they rented it out, and I got to teach everybody. I got to teach over 30,000 people all up on stage. It was pretty neat. Yeah.
Nice. Christy, you got yourself a really unboring husband.
Unboring.
Worried about
Good
my
job.
husband, I promise.
He's-
you
he's
know
un-
that.
he's
You don't know the
unboring.
top of it.
He's unboring and he's hot. So I mean, good job. I mean, but you're unboring and hot too. So it's perfect.
Not even making his life be like,
Yeah, I should probably
Oh.
not tell those stories.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna get her back
Only
to-
if you
want to hear them.
back to college.
Please save them. Please save them for another day, brother. Save them for another day. I want to hear these stories.
We'll just do a
Yeah.
specific Michael stream.
Yeah.
We'll be like we'll have a Michael's needing a meeting day, you know,
Yes.
Yeah.
or we're needing a Michael meeting.
you're
Like
needing a
that's
Michael
fine.
meeting.
Hey, my favorite thing. My favorite thing, by the way, is dad jokes. You like dad jokes?
We like that
Perfect.
joke.
Perfect.
We have a guy
Yeah.
here.
Yes,
We have a
that's-
guy here named Seventh Son. His real name's Steve, and
Oh.
he likes to do dad jokes.
Well, tell him a dad
We
joke,
like this.
but make sure it's nice.
Go ahead.
Just a quick one. So, what's brown and sticky?
What?
A stick.
This Yeah. We'll just need like get him like 20 minutes worth of stuff, and then we'll just do dad jokes.
How bad is it that stupid dad joke just made my face turn purple? I laughed at it.
Well, it's because you never really know. You're like,
No, you don't.
He's like, you can only put up with them for so long, okay?
Right.
One more and I'm done. One more and I'm done.
Guy.
Why did
He's
why
addicted
did
now.
why did the man fall down the well?
Why?
Because he did not see that well.
Oh.
That one was even better, actually. That was better. That was good.
Right.
I like that one.
Lordy.
I'm gonna have that stick one is with me now. That stick one is
Yeah.
with me.
You don't want
Absolutely.
Steve telling jokes. He likes those off-color ones.
oh, well, Michael has some too. That's why I was like, what are we doing? Say it.
What are you saying right now? Because we have a limit. We have a limit.
We don't want the human
I haven't-
reviewers to be like, what are they doing over here?
This isn't what it said in the description.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness. There we go.
So that's him. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
yeah, so somebody said that we don't have any children of our own, but we've got a blended family. We've got 8 kids between the 2 of us, 5 girls and 3 boys, and 6 grandbabies. So
Wow.
Wow.
My goodness.
Wow.
Do you have more kids, or does he have more kids?
he has more kids. He's got 5.
I
I
figured.
have 3.
He looks like he has a lot of kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry,
Carol, can you bring up the Debbie Doodles one?
He
I
said
am.
quite
Yeah.
a bit.
Why didn't the skeleton go skydiving? Because he didn't have the guts.
I love these are great, ridiculous jokes.
Oh,
They
I
are.
I
That's
have
my
none.
Frankie beans. Not my Tom, that's my Frankie. That's the good cat.
the good cat's being a little silly today. Okay.
Because I have a burrito in my hand and I'm trying to eat, but I'm really having so much fun with y'all. I don't want to keep I'm going to cut off my video again.
You're good. You're
You
good.
did, Tampa Bay man. 6 grandkids. Yeah.
I know. Neither of them look like they could have grandbabies. I know.
That-
I
yeah,
agree.
True.
Oh,
True.
Yeah. No. So that's our story. Married for 10 years. And
It's your big happy family.
what's that?
It's your big happy family.
Yes. yeah. So that's that's our life.
Full of dad jokes.
I like it. And now you're a nomad and I'm
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
even more impressed with you.
I was a nomad for 6 years. I thought it was 7 years, but I can't math. So
Me either.
6 years I was on the road with him, and we traveled all over. One of my favorite stories is we were in El Paso, Texas. It was sunny and 80 degrees. He gets paid on Thursdays. On Friday, they told him at noon they needed us in Grand Forks, North Dakota on Monday. So we drove from the border of Mexico to the border of Canada and hit a snowstorm in Wyoming. And then we didn't leave snow until we left North Dakota.
Oh,
Debbie Doodles.
Mm.
yes, there you go.
She's got all the great dad jokes.
That's amazing. That's so good.
Nacho cheese.
See, I'm no good at jokes. I'm good at funny stories, but I'm no good at jokes.
Okay, your stories are rather entertaining. So he can do the jokes and you can do the stories.
All about my
how's that?
stupidity.
How was the food at your medieval restaurant that you guys hit yesterday?
Oh, it was so good. And we ate with
Wow.
our hands. So they brought out like a quarter of a chicken and they just plunked it on there. And we had soup. So you like drank it out of the bowl. And then you had chicken and then you had potatoes and corn on the cob. And it was so funny. So the best part of it was there were all of these little kids in our section. And each section, it depends on like how much you paid for your tickets because there's different levels that you can buy. So we got the VIP royalty thing, right? So we were in a different section than other people. So our section was the black and white night. So these kids were so into it and they're like, black and white, black and white, black and white. And they're just cheering on and they like rode out on their horses and they like jousted and they fought and it was so funny and the kids were like screaming and it was just over the top. But I was surprised. The food was really good and I didn't know if it was gonna be like kind of like like Chuck E. Cheese where it's like the pizza but you pay for the experience. No, it was great food, great everything. It was like
do people come there dressed up in Renaissance type stuff sometimes?
Some people did. This one girl had a tiara. I'm like, I want a crown. And Michael's like, no. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I want a crown. Well, they gave me a little paper crown. He's like, you have one. I'm like, I want a tiara. I felt like Amy in Big Bang Theory. Like, I want a tiara.
I just saw that scene the other day on YouTube. So you're telling us that you went to medieval times last night?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Michael's like, well, because see, normally Sundays are supposed to be his day off, but because it was raining so bad yesterday and they can't weld in the rain, they took yesterday off and worked today. So he's like, we were driving over. Well, it was kind of funny. We were driving trying to find a Starbucks, but I took him to the wrong Starbucks, but it was a good thing because we found a huge mall, which was amazing. But then we found medieval times. So
amazing.
So yeah, we went.
That was like one of my best experiences in Toronto. They've got different things going on in within the city there, but medieval times was like my favorite. I was so happy to see that it's not just in Toronto.
So it's a chain.
Has anybody ever gone to a Renaissance festival?
Yes.
A fair?
Yes.
Because we have a town in Michigan. It's called Holly, and they have this whole area set up, and it's set up year round. But it's obviously the fest is in the summer. It was so much fun growing up and in my teens and 20s. Until they commercialized it, right now but it's still fun once you're in there. It's just all the price and the commercialism and the advertisements everywhere. But I still love the Renaissance festivals, and of course, I always dress like a gypsy wench.
Yes. Oh, there was a tank top there I wanted, and it said "wench" across the front of it. I'm like, oh, I need that. But hey, Rebecca. And it was our waitress was amazing. She was fun. Like it was just really, really cool. So
now you make me want to go. Like I really want to go to medieval times now. I saw those pictures and I'm like, I need this again in my life.
I've got a lot of videos. I had to go through and kind of like see what it is because I've taken a lot of videos of different things. But oh yeah, it was so fun. Like we should should congregate and go to medieval times and we can all wear our tiaras and whatever else.
Okay, so acquire a tiara and choose a medieval times to meet at. Perfect.
Yes, that's what we must do.
Count me in. Even if I have to make my my crown out of my hair, I'm in.
I can't remember what you call the reenactment, the people who enjoy doing reenactments. I've got a few friends who do that, like create all of their own clothes and everything for the time that they spend in the woods or, you know, reenacting a battle. It's pretty cool.
Yes. How
Yeah,
awesome.
I've been to one Ren Fair. My son took me. It's and they have a place set up in Oklahoma of all places, Muskogee, Oklahoma, like a full on like castle wall type setting situation,
Huh?
and it's there year round. But they only have the one Ren Fest that I know of.
Okay. That's fantastic.
But they have other
though.
events. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
They have a big Renaissance festival up in Estes Park, Colorado. And we used to go to it all the time. My dad loved stuff like that. And so we were always um what's going on? We were always going to do really cool things like that. Or rendezvous. We would go to rendezvous. That was kind of fun too. So
Right on.
yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to get there we go.
Okay. My other's keeper, Jen, says that she could totally make you make your hair into a braided crown.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
I'm
That would be
100% into
pretty
that. I'm almost done with this, and then I promise I'm back.
right on.
Rebecca says
I would love to learn those courtly dances.
Right?
That looks like so much fun.
Right? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
we used
I
to
can get
do
that
that during
comment
the
show.
Rocky Horror Picture Show decades ago. My age is showing.
Rocky Horror Picture Show is like my favorite.
I've never seen it. I've never been. I've never seen it.
That
I mean,
and Clockwork Orange. Those are my
I'm
two
sorry,
favorite
what?
movies.
I never
Whoa.
have. So,
What if we have a prop? Hang on. No. What?
Whoa.
so I
A Clockwork Orange. I saw that when I was
Right there.
18, just out of high school. It wrecked me.
I've not.
I like
Right.
those psychological thrillers though. Lately I haven't been able to do them,
Yeah.
but I do enjoy those. And that one was like my first that like got me. And it was like, oh, okay, this is a rewatch. Like every Halloween. Every Halloween.
Yeah.
Clockwork Orange was a real mind bumper.
Oh
For
man.
sure. Rocky Horror. Pardon me for saying this, but Tim Curry, y'all,
Right?
Yeah. Agreed.
that man is so sexy.
Yeah. Agreed.
I suggest
100%.
taking at least a peek at it.
Yeah.
Did I tell you guys about how back in October at the Motown Mansion, which is the Barry Gordy's old mansion, just maybe like
Oh, that's right.
half a
Motown
mile
started
from
in Detroit. Yeah.
oh yeah
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so at the Motown Mansion they had this great live action Rocky Horror show. So me and
Okay.
some friends went to that, and so not only did we get to see a live action like in a house reenactment of Rocky Horror, but we got to be in the Motown Mansion where like all the after studio parties went down and all the fun and crazy and not fun. I mean, yeah, Rocky was hot, Kim. I agree, but
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm a Frankenfurter girl. myself.
Frankenfurter all day long. Yeah.
All
What's
Mhm.
Frankenfurt?
That's the
Dr.
character, Tim Curry's character in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, okay.
Did you see that?
This.
I've seen it. Yeah, I just don't like. I've seen pictures. I've never actually seen it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. I think it's a
It
fun
is
movie
fun.
anyway.
It is a great. Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
See,
I wish
here's-
that I never did. I was a teenager in the height of all that, going to those midnight shows and doing the whole thing, and I never did get to do it. I always regretted that
Mhm.
that I didn't get to do the whole thing, Rocky Horror Picture Show thing.
Oh, it has meatloaf in it.
Maybe I'll get to. Who knows?
I was never.
We're
So
not done yet.
I was to put it in perspective. I grew up pretty much like Footloose. So I was not allowed to dance. I was not allowed to watch certain movies. I couldn't watch The Simpsons. I couldn't watch Nickelodeon. There were certain movies I couldn't see, a lot of things I couldn't do. Like I could listen to Aerosmith, but I couldn't listen to Kiss or Motley Crue. Um, so like I don't know how that was okay. Like one was okay and the other wasn't. Like Motley Crue wasn't okay because it had a pentagram.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so like I couldn't listen
One album.
yeah,
One album.
yeah, but that was enough. So it was when Michael and I met, there was a lot of movies I had not seen, a lot of stuff I did not know, like bands I had never listened to. And so everything that I grew up listening to and doing was like very like literary. Like so, we would go to the library, we would go to the museums, we would watch like Dr. Zhivago or stuff like that. So I had not really even seen some of that stuff. So I'm really out of touch with some things. And I'm just like, what?
So you haven't seen Pink Floyd's The Wall either, then?
No, I haven't. No, I mean I've listened to Pink Floyd, but I haven't seen Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Honey.
My family was scared of Kiss. Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh,
That is hilarious. And they were demonic according to the group I was part of. Wow. And Christy, Rebecca recommends you go see Rocky Horror Picture Show. It has Meatloaf in it.
I mean, I think I'm gonna have to watch it now. I still have to watch Princess Bride. I told Michael about that yesterday. I've seen it before, but it was so long ago that I don't remember it. Like, because we used to. So I grew up in Kansas, like when I was little, and when we couldn't go outside during like tornado season, we would watch Wizard of Oz or The Never Ending Story or Princess Bride or stuff like that. So.
It's always a great idea during a tornado to watch Wizard of Oz, Christy. That's genius.
I mean, I gotta tell you, like, I have seen that movie so many times. I'm just like,
Me too.
oh gosh. Yeah, but they'd put it on, they'd be like, well, we can't go outside because, it's windy, but here, let's watch something about a tornado and a house falling on a witch, because that's crazy.
And then taking her shoes.
Yeah. Now, in all fairness, I would have stolen the shoes too, but
I totally would have stolen them. I've held the actual shoes in one of the pairs of actual shoes from the movie in my hand.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, a friend of mine did a Oscar memorabilia tour. What are you singing?
That's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
I absolutely love that idea, Izzy. A watch party.
You should.
Yes. I think you can do that on Discord. Am I right?
I think
Yes, you can.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You'll have to teach me how to use
That would
Discord
be
better.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's okay. We could do Discord. We could do Twitch. Either one of them are really good for that kind of stuff.
Right on. That would be amazing,
you should say that, Rebecca. Yeah, you should have already said that. Just kidding.
Yeah, I've not seen any of those. And Michael, he just, at first I think he was kind of like befuddled that I had not seen so much. And then he kind of met my family and he's like, I get it.
Mm-hmm. The last 10 years I just started, it was like movie after movie after movie. There was like a list of things that I had everybody was like, you haven't seen this? And I was like, the last 10 years was going through my list of, I haven't seen this. And everybody's like, what? So yeah, I get it. I understand where you're coming from.
I mean, we just my dad just, we just weren't allowed. And the thing was with my dad, you weren't allowed to question it. I mean, if he said no, that was the end of it. You just no. And there was no more
My dad
explanation.
was like that.
Now, my dad to be clear, my dad never yelled at me, never cussed. I never heard my parents fight. It wasn't a bad childhood. It was just we didn't get a lot of explanations about some things. Like when I asked to go to my very first ever sock hop, this is literally what my dad said. He goes, "We're Baptists, we don't dance. Don't ask again."
What did you call it?
A sock hop. Well, that's what they called it back then. Like where you go
Okay.
dance
I
around.
know I'm laughing at the we're Baptist, we don't dance. Clearly you weren't Southern Baptists because they sure do dance.
No, we were
Not at like secular dances though.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
No, and
yeah.
the kids couldn't go to a high school dance or anything like that.
And I'm more thinking about the Black Southern Baptist churches because everything was about music and dance and movement. And
No.
that's what I love
Okay.
about Black
Okay.
churches. If I'm going to go to a church, I'm going to a Black church.
We were not
Okay.
allowed to like even one of the worst times I got in trouble was we were taking the Lord's Supper or communion, but we called it the Lord's Supper. And I was laughing because everybody ate at the same time and they swallowed at the same time and they drank the grape juice at the same time. And my dad yanked me out of church so fast, took me into the foyer, made me go downstairs and apologize to God for making light of the seriousness of the thing. So I went downstairs and I was like, "Sorry, God," and I came back at my dad's like, "Nope, nope, nope, you weren't there long enough. Go back down." So I had to go back down, and then I'm just sitting there, and I was like, So after that, whenever we had to do it, I looked down. I didn't look at anybody. I mean, it was, oh yeah, I got in so much trouble for that one.
Oh my goodness.
In church a lot, but that was the worst.
I still can't get over the story. I think it was your cousin that you ended up beating up somebody over. Like that story makes me so happy.
Yes. My grandpa was really proud of me too.
Yeah. Did you give her trouble? Yeah, but he's so proud of you. He's so proud of you.
Just let her go. Just let her go.
No. Yeah.
My dad was my grandpa was the deacon. My dad was the deacon. My mom was the piano player. My cousin was the preacher. Like we were so involved in the church. Yeah. Like and I couldn't, and I didn't the whole time I was living in Kansas, I didn't rebel. Now, when I moved to Colorado, I did a little bit, but yeah, it wasn't, and it didn't go over really well either when I got pregnant out of wedlock and didn't marry the guy. My dad actually was the one who's like, "Look, being married is hard enough." He goes, "Don't marry somebody because you feel like you're supposed to. Like you already made a bad choice. Let's not make more bad choices." And the way that the church treated me was the reason my dad left church and he didn't go back. He never went back after that. And I think he found his own spiritual path. My mom stayed and my brother stayed, but my dad and I didn't go back after that.
I have a cousin who got pregnant in high school, and they sent her away to one of those. I can't believe I'm old enough to say this. So this happened in the 80s.
Yeah.
But they sent her away to, like, when she started showing, they sent her away to one of those pregnant girl homes to have her kid and then have it adopted. And then she came back, and I never knew that. Then they that was, and then when I heard that story, I was like, what? I how did I not notice that? She's like, because they as soon as I started showing, they I'm like, what was some kind of like bougie wasp family from the Hamptons or something? Why would you? I mean, great. Listen. I'm an abomination. I'm a half. I'm Irish. I'm half Catholic, half Protestant, and Catholicism is Catholicism, and First Church of the Nazarene is a very fundamentalist church. So, I definitely understand the religious trauma, which I wouldn't equate that with God or the Bible or anything like that. Just religious trauma to me is from churches, from sects,
Yeah.
of Christianity. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I think that I think I walked right out the womb rebelling. I wasn't rebelling against my parents at the time because they were just babies, but
Huh.
like I lived with my grandma a lot of my childhood, so there's a whole. She was she was only 42. She could have had me herself,
Mhm.
but she was like, "Don't tell anybody that I'm your grandma." I'm like, "Why? Are you ashamed of me?" And she's like, "No, I don't want them to know how old I am." And she used to say that to my dad, "Don't tell anybody you're my son." And he's like, "Why?" She's like,
Oh
"Because
my,
I don't want them to know how old I am." Well, who
no,
cares about your age?
I had
I don't
Dally.
lie about my age.
I got pregnant with her when I was 19 and had her when I was 20. So, I was older. But they,
My mom was the same age as you were.
yeah, but they still wanted me to get up in front of the church and apologize and that kind of thing. And I was like, no. And my dad was like, no.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we didn't. The only thing that my dad said to me was, I wish you hadn't done that. That was the only thing my dad ever said to me about it. I never heard anything else. And him and Dally were
That's
like
good.
that. They were so tight. And
That's awesome.
Oh,
but
Amazing.
yeah.
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 So and my
Okay, Izzy, I just want
I
to
think
address
it's
this.
cool that you're
Oh,
in a Mennonite church now. That's
That's
quite a
the big
change.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah.
Wow. My aunt was a grandma at
Izzy,
32.
just want to
Wow.
tell you, Izzy, that they're pretty much all dead now, so you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, and
It
then
was
there's
my grandparents and great grandparents and aunts and great aunts and uncles and yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
Good time because I was born during the Troubles. So
Oh.
the Irish are so funny that they'll call like a terroristic war over religion the Troubles.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Don't worry about that. It's a 30-year long war between the Catholics and the Protestants in
Yeah.
Belfast,
Yeah.
Ireland.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more than Troubles. They were blowing cars up, and that's
Whew.
why you do. There's no such thing as an Irish car bomb drink in Ireland. That's an American thing. Nobody says that in Ireland. No real Irish people say that. I don't say that. I don't drink them
That's a
either. But
terrible thing to say. I mean, just because of all the brutality in that war.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
well,
didn't even
people
know
are
that
very
that was a
easily
thing, but it ought not be.
Yeah, it ought not be, and it probably in these in these times, it's. Thank you, Rebecca. I know I'm not an abomination. I finally figured that out. Yeah, Izzy and I talked about the famine and the Troubles and how just garbage all of that was. It was all perpetrated by
Yeah.
the British.
Mhm.
Wow.
But
So
whatever,
that's
I think
that's why they like the monarchy. Okay. Is that why the Irish don't like the monarchy?
Mhm.
Okay.
it's 100% the reason why they don't like the monarchy because they came in amazingly. And I mean, it's only been just over 100 years since Ireland's had its freedom. But they managed to fight back, unlike the Scottish. But Scotland being attached to England made it a lot easier.
Sure.
But they don't like the monarchy because the monarchy treated they were enslaved. They
Yeah.
were they had those rules where that was if anyone who's seen that Mel Gibson movie that I can't remember the name of right now, of
Braveheart.
course. Braveheart, yeah. So it's real that stuff did happen. If any of like the generals or whatever that were overseeing these villages and towns, if they found out that somebody was that a couple was getting married, they would essay the bride to be before the husband could be.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
That's
They
barbaric. Yeah, no
it
wonder.
it absolutely is. hmm It's crazy, this world and the men who run it. It's and I have to say men because it's mainly been men. I mean, there have been some queens along the way, a few queens, that have made a big difference. But you know, monarchies haven't really. The British monarchy actually hasn't been relevant since George V, which would have been Queen Elizabeth's grandfather, because after that they just became constitutional monarchs where they didn't have any reign.
I thought they became the constitutional monarchs in the 1600s when they reinstated the monarchy after Cromwell.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
I should
Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't crazy. Okay.
Embarrassingly enough, I'm Irish, but I also share blood with the British royal family, which is kind of gross.
Oh. Well,
Yeah. So I'm Irish, English, Scottish, Welsh. Wait, let me say it in the right way. I'm Irish, Norwegian, English, Scottish, Welsh. My Viking ancestors went to England, conquered England, and then I guess you know, the little British part of my family, obviously we know who they are. They went to Ireland and did the things, and then I am the result of that.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, I want my royalty. I want my royalty checks. The Irish language was outlawed. That's 100% true. And they've been purposely speaking it again.
yeah.
It's really sad. Actually, it's just the way that the people of that island would continue to be treated. It's a lot better than it used to be for the Irish, but I mean, even in America, when the Irish immigrated here, they were. Hi, Steve. I could.
You've got some highs over here. Some people saying hi.
Hello, Steve.
It's crunch and munch time.
Oh, it's
I love some crunch and munch.
that's all right. I ran to the border on my way home, so that's good. Crunch and munch actually sounds pretty darn good.
Crunch and munch sounds really good. I've got my earbuds in, so he can't hear what you guys are saying.
And here's some.
Oh, he can hear some, he says. Oh,
It's
y'all can
because
hear him. He just can't hear you.
It sounds like the Peanuts. Is it hot everywhere or just here?
It's getting warmer here in Quebec.
We're 75 at least, 77 outside.
It is in
It's sunny.
Michigan, in Detroit. Let's see, what is it here? Why are there so many people on YouTube right now?
I can't hear
It
Carol.
was only in the 60s here today.
Our high temperature in Detroit was 59. Beautiful day.
There you go.
70 in Minnesota.
Nice. That's
Wow,
unusual.
that's warm.
Yeah, it is.
I'm coming to
Gotta get
visit
ready
this
to
year,
hatch.
Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming to visit, Rebecca, because I gotta go to Paisley Park, and I've gotta go to that TTI hospital and face that demon.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready for me visit.
Oh yeah.
So translated, it's 49 degrees today. So that's for Quebec. It should be like much colder.
Yeah,
So, and I don't know how to translate it easily from Celsius to Fahrenheit, but it should be like closer to -20 right now, and it's 8 degrees Celsius. So
-20 is like almost 0 Fahrenheit.
okay, so that's where we should be right now, but we're not. We're at 44, well, 44 to like 49. It really depends on where you're going to stand, if you're in the shade or the sun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We should probably be in the 50s to low 60s.
Okay.
But we got 70s and 80s.
Everywhere is just so much warmer.
They broke the planet. That's what I think.
Who are they?
Who are they?
The people who buy Crunch and Munch, they broke the planet.
those single-use plastic people. Oh,
That's what happened.
I'm working on that. Yes, people, and then all their
Oh.
peopliness. That's okay. I
Well,
don't
you
need a
guys,
whole bedroom, Rebecca.
What's going on?
I've had to separate Edgar from everybody because the boys are mean to him. Jet's mean to him when he's with the girls. So he's in his own little pen all by himself. So I wanted to let him give him about an hour
Yeah.
of time out in the pasture where he can get some good eatings, but I'm gonna have to supervise.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right. Right. Perfect.
Is that
Well,
Steve?
I need to go check on the laundry anyway, the dryer. So
I have to actually do the same. It's,
Oh, here comes Thomas.
you heard the music. Like, what? It's attention time.
Can y'all hear? How well can y'all hear that?
really
I can
good.
hear it great.
Yeah. 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 I can hear it really good.
I was gonna start ripping some lyrics, but since he can't hear me, I'm not gonna. Stop hitting me in the face with my microphone.
You guys can
That
go
guy.
tend to your goats and laundry and whatever you've got going, and I will see you guys.
See you tomorrow.
Good
Great
to see
shirt.
you.
Great to see everybody. Have a good rest of your Sunday.
Yes. Good
You too,
night.
Jen.
Bye.
Good to see everybody. Woo! It is warm in here. I am sweating, y'all. But I'm gonna get out in that sunshine and supervise and make sure that donkey doesn't hurt my little Edgar. My Edgar, sweet little thing. And he doesn't bother nobody. Anyway, I'm gonna go out and see about him. You guys, it's been fun. Love hanging out with you, and hope to see you again next meeting. And until then, peace, y'all.